Hey YouTube, Live for 2A here. Check out what I just picked up. Well, I didn't just pick it up, I've had it for a little while. I've been, originally had a Ruger SR40C, and I was having a really hard time learning how to shoot it. Just having a hard time learning to control it and learning not to flinch. And so I thought, based on a lot of advice I saw on YouTube, that it's easier to start shooting with a smaller caliber pistol. My Ruger obviously is a 40 caliber compact pistol, whereas this is a Browning Buckmark camper, which is actually more of a target pistol. It's got a 5.5 inch barrel, and it's a very solid pistol. A couple things on here. I noticed when I first bought it, the sights were all black and it's hard for me to see, so I just put a little dab of white nail polish on the end just to make it a little bit easier for me to see on more varied backgrounds. They do have aftermarket sights, and different models have different, for example, fiber optic sights and things, but I decided to get this model instead. So some of the features, obviously the slider is here. Magazine release is not ambidextrous. There's a button on this side, but you can only push it from this side. So for me to eject the magazine, I have to move my hand around and push it, but otherwise it's pretty straightforward. Slide release is this lever here. Otherwise I can just pull back on the slide and let it go. And this here is a safety. One of the complaints I saw from some people is that the safety can be pushed down easy enough by the thumb, but it's hard to push it up, and yep, it is. But generally, I find if I'm in a situation where I want to shoot, that's pretty good, pretty quick. But I can't imagine needing to have to push the safety up and down while I'm doing whatever I'm doing. So I just flipping it up is not a big deal. And sure enough, with it up, it seems like an effective safety. Once the safety is engaged, everything is locked up and the trigger won't pull. With the mag release out, the trigger will move around, but the trigger won't activate. Whereas with the safety down, if I and the magazine in, if I pull the trigger, the hammer will fire, or the striker will fire. But according to the owner's book for the Browning Buckmark, it says not to dry fire. Oops. Not to dry fire the pistol, meaning don't pull the trigger when there's nothing in the chamber, because otherwise what will happen is the pin will bang up against the face of the barrel, and that could damage the pin and cause the pistol to become inoperable. Because I bought this brand new, I had to go through a break-in process. It took me, I can't remember exactly how many rounds, but maybe about 30-40 rounds before the pistol started to seem like it was shooting in pretty good groups. And the other thing I've learned is, actually, you know, as badly as I have had a hard time controlling my Ruger SR40, I found controlling this much easier. So my groups are getting tighter, and so I'm pretty happy with the progress I'm making on my basics. One thing I had to do after buying the pistol is adjust the sights. When I first bought the pistol, the sights were screwed all the way down, so everywhere I was shooting is consistently lower than where I was aiming. And so even though my groups were getting tighter, they're always several inches, 3 or 4 inches below where I was aiming. So I went through and turned this counterclockwise, raising the sight up, which ended up causing me to, of course, aim the pistol higher, and that brought my groups closer to where I'm targeting. Unfortunately for me, I'm not a very good shot, so hopefully it's pretty close to where it should be. It's certainly close enough to my groups to be relatively centered on what I'm aiming at.